Hello there, just a quick video to share with you some of the new equipment and gear ideas that we've come up with in 2016. Firstly, I wanted to start off with the Cookset improvements ideas that we've come up with. This here is a set of baking trays that we picked up at thrift stores. So if you do shop around enough at second-hand thrift stores and op shops, it's quite easy to put together ultralight cook sets. As you can see, the three baking trays all stack inside it themselves. This is my old Campfire Grill DIY. It's warped, it's just had it. So recently I upgraded to the Streamside Traveller's Grill, which you may have seen in our recent cooking video. So slightly lighter, more professionally made, and comes with this handy little bag, Streamside Traveller's Grill by Purcell Trench in America. Another quick, simple Cookset idea. These are our knives, our fork and spoon, so there's nothing new there. But one idea we came up with is just a little vegetable peeler, and it even fits onto the carabiner with the cutlery set. Many uses for a vegetable peeler. The obvious use, of course, is peeling vegetables, but if the wood around your campfire is soft enough, you could even use the veggie peeler to make feather sticks and tinder for your fire. So as for our food ideas for 2016, we're now carrying these small chicken curry flavour packs. So you mix that in with pasta just to make a big stew type meal. Previously we were using a 2-in-1 system with pasta and flavour in the pack, but this way we get to use whichever pasta we wish. And another great idea for ultralight backpacking is just to carry these small portions of UHT milk. Each package contains 200 ml, and that's enough milk to cook one of these chicken curry packs. And as you can see, they come in stacks of 6. Another great trail food are these Nutty Biscuits. So there's many ingredients in there. It's really packed with sugar and carbohydrates and fat. Great trail food. Nutty Biscuits, available at many different outlets. And in a recent video we also had these giant marshmallows, great for little campfire trips, camping in the car, camping in the tents. So giant marshmallows from the United States. So that just about covers our Cookset and food idea improvements. Let's just step down here to gear repair kits. So these 3 packs are for repairing holes in waterproof jackets. So the one brand that I always trust most of all is Gore-Tex. So they're Gore-Tex repair patches, and you only get 2 in the packet, mind you. So they cost about $15 US here in Australia. Quite expensive, but extremely reliable, and they last forever. So you iron that on to your waterproof jackets for a permanent repair to small holes in your equipment. Now, a budget alternative to the Gore-Tex patches is this brand name Tenacious Tape. Let's just hold the camera in there close so you can read. Now, originally when I bought this Tenacious Tape, I was pretty optimistic that it was going to be just as reliable as Gore-Tex. We'll just swing over here. This is a pair of waterproof trousers, and I've used some of the Tenacious Tape to fix some wear and tear on the inside of the garment, and already only after one or two hikes there's already a tiny split in the Tenacious Tape. So my conclusion is that Tenacious Tape may be good for emergency in-field repairs, but as for long-term fix-it jobs, I would only trust these Gore-Tex patches because I know they work. And I know that they really are a permanent solution. So another product also by Tenacious Tape are these tattoo peel and stick fabric patches. As you can see, they're all different shapes and sizes for decorating equipment that has holes in it. There's a Yeti in the middle. So just little patches for fixing the outside of garments, for sleeping bags, down jackets. But again, I haven't had the chance to test this yet, and based on the failed repair job on the Gore-Tex pants, I am slightly skeptical as to this brand name. Moving on to emergency beacons. So recently I've improved our emergency distress beacon system. So previously we were using a satellite phone, but this is a new device by the company DeLorme, the Inreach Explorer. So it's lighter, has better battery power, it's more waterproof than a satellite phone. And here's my old satellite phone over here, along with the massive chunky charge cable that you would never take ultralight backpacking. Another advantage with these new Inreach Explorer devices is you can charge them in the field with a power bank. And there's the micro USB cable that you use to charge the Inreach Explorer. And to go with the Inreach Explorer, I also just picked up a new waterproof pouch. So much more user-friendly than a satellite phone. Regarding ultralight charge cables, which obviously you need a power bank to charge devices, another option we came up with is these 4-pronged charge system cables. So that whole kit you're looking at there only weighs about 25 grams, but it has 4 separate chargers on there. The iPhone 5, iPhone 4, micro USB, and that cable there will charge the GoPro. But that said, the only thing I worry about with these multi-charge cable systems is that if it does fail, you're obviously not going to be able to charge any of your devices. So the option that we actually use is these mini cables, which you may have seen in our last video from 2015. Just miniature little cables. Obviously a more reliable system, because if one fails, at least the other 3 will still be working. And more on the subject of electrical device improvements. This is the new torch I've started using, the P3. Last year and the year before I was using the larger LED lenser with the AA batteries. I just find this to be more reliable, and you can't get really much lighter than that. The whole torch only weighs 35 grams with the AAA battery inside. And just as a DIY idea, I made a helmet strap or headlamp strap. That's just a piece of elastic material with a little belt buckle clip on there. This is the lanyard for the LED lenser. So I actually got this idea from my friend Patrick's Bushcraft. He's another YouTuber. You can check out his channel if you wish. He does a lot of DIY projects. So just on how to turn your aluminium torch into a headlamp system. And there's the AAA batteries that we're using now. We only use lithium batteries now. We find them to perform much better in extreme cold. Back onto the subject of emergency beacons. This is the waterproof jacket that my hiking partner Christina uses. Now, quite often when we're on our hikes, I will be carrying the backpack, and Christina, because she's not wearing a backpack, she doesn't have a whistle, because most backpacks have a whistle on the sternum strap. So what I've done is just attach this regular referee's whistle to the zipper. There's the zipper of the jacket that is permanently attached. So the only way to remove it would be to cut the rope. Small piece of 3mm rope with a knot tied. This way, if she needs to, she can call out to me from a distance. Of course, the emergency satellite beacon systems like EPIRBs are a much more effective option than a whistle, because obviously the whistle is only useful if your rescue team is within earshot. We also picked up this blue waterproof dry sack. One of our sleeping bags are inside there. The problem is when you buy a sleeping bag or a down jacket or other items, they provide you with a stuff sack, but the stuff sacks seem to never be properly waterproof. So from now on, we always carry our sleeping bags in particular inside a dry sack. It's by the brand name Xped, same brand as that waterproof pouch you saw for the Inreach Explorer. And also on the subject of sleeping improvements, this is my old thermarest, so that's my sleeping mat. It's a men's Trail Pro thermarest, and we recently decided that we'd have to upgrade my hiking partner Christina's sleep system. This is the Trail Pro for women, so it is possible to get the same thermarest mattress, but especially made for women. It's slightly thicker and also shorter for better comfort. And just like last year, something I really like to encourage, and that is getting second-hand gear if you can. These 4 items, these are the Merino wool jumpers that I've picked up this year in thrift stores. You really can't beat wool as a garment in the snow. A lot of people complain that it's too heavy, but the unbeatable advantage with wool is it doesn't breed bacteria the way synthetic clothes do. So you can wear wool 3 or 4 days in a row without worrying so much about the problems that you get with fabrics like polyester or polypropylene, which breed bacteria in a completely different way to animal skins. And possibly the most amazing item I've ever picked up in a thrift store is this jacket. It's a 100% woolen ski jacket, and hopefully the GoPro is picking that up. You can read that label there, Salt Lake City Winter Olympics 2002. This is a 100% woolen ski jacket worn by the Australian Olympic team in 2002. Picked it up for only $17 in a thrift store. And again, on the subject of woolen jumpers, just a quick alteration I did, which I'd like to share with you. This is again a woolen jumper which I picked up in a thrift store that I often wear while I'm hiking. And what I've done is I've got an alterations expert to just add this extra piece of wool at the bottom, because I found that because that wool jumper is a medium size, my midsection was exposed to the elements because the jumper wasn't long enough. So just a quick alteration to make that jumper long enough so I can easily tuck it into the woolen trousers that I'm wearing. And finally, we put together this telescopic selfie pole by attaching a GoPro mount onto an old trekking pole.